Hello crazy coders, today we will make a Hangman game using Python, a game in which one player chooses a word whose letters are guessed by another player. I have chosen the word computer for this tutorial. I have already created a new Python file and named it hangman.py. The first thing, I will create a list with each element as a character of computer and another list of equal length but with each element as underscore representing an unguessed answer. So let's do that. So I've created two lists. Now I will create a variable named attempts remaining, and I will assign it 6 because that's the valid attempts, number of wrong attempts the player receives. I will decrement it each time when the user guesses a word which is not in the answer. So now I will create a while loop with a condition attempts remaining greater than 0. So while attempts are greater than 0, this loop will run, but if attempts become 0, then the loop will stop executing itself. So now in the loop, first thing I want to create a variable named letter to store the input, and I want to ask input for a guess. So the prompt will be guess a letter, and I want to also print the variable in the prompt. So for that I will use an f string and brackets for representing and square brackets, sorry, curly brackets for the variable, and the variable will be attempts remaining. So now after the prompt he will enter a letter which he is guessed. Now I want to check if the guessed letter is in the word is in the answer or not. So for that I will use an if statement. If letter in A is the list of the letters of our word. So if it's if letter is in A, so for first for in if statement I will check if not in, because that will create an easy thing for us. So if letter not in A, I will just decrease the attempts by 1. And now, but if the guessed letter is in the word, I want to replace all the underscores at locations where guessed letter is in answer list. So for that I will create a counter I, and now I will create a for each loop for each loop. So for variable will be current letter, and in a list. So runs one letter from the list A will be stored in current letter. And now I will check if guessed letter, then that is letter, is equal to current letter. If it's equal, then I want to update the underscore at that location. Location is accessed by I, which is a counter, to letter, which is guessed letter. And now after that I will just increment the counter by 1. So this will allow us to do what we want to achieve. Now after this I will just print the updated version of the list after the guess, but I want to print it all to combine. For that I will use a join function, but with a space as a separator. What join function does is takes list and combines all of its characters. Basically it is a concatenation. Now I want if guess is all correctly, so every time I want to check if L is equal to A, which basically means if all characters of L are equal to all characters of A, and this L is the guessed list. So when he guesses correctly, he will we have updated here with the guess letter. And if L is equal to A at any point, which is all the guessed letters are in the A list and they're all updated, so we want to print, yeah, you won, because that's how he wins this game. You won. Yeah, and break. Yeah, that sounds good. Now I will create a while else statement. Let me write it. So basically it will print you lost. So the reason this will execute will depend on this loop will break or not, and this loop will break only when L is equal to A, only when the user gets all the characters of the answer. So when that happens, this loop will break and this will not execute. But if this loop doesn't break and the uh, user attempts become 0 and this loop will stop executing because of the condition, then this else statement will be executed. So that's why if he wins, if L is equal to A, he wins and break and with a print u1. But if user never gets it correct and run out of attempts, then he will get this prompt, so this print you lost, because of this else statement. So this is a while else statement. So we have done the program. Let's check for the output. Let's play the game. Now yeah, they guess a letter with attempts remaining 6. So I want to guess, let's enter T. So yeah, T is in. Let's O. Yeah, so let's Q. So Q is not in, that's why attempts reduced. So let's give all wrong things. So attempts reduced, keeps reducing, and if we enter one more wrong, you lost. Yeah, so that's how it works. Now if you enter all valid words, then you will win. So that's it from this video. Thank you for watching and we will catch you up.